What if I told you that a 2,000-year-old Buddhist text could give us a practical map for the choices we make, like right now, today? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into. We're unpacking the Sutra on responding to the Dharma, and honestly, its wisdom feels incredibly modern.
So the text kicks off with this question that, honestly, it feels like it was written just for us, right now. It's basically asking, why do we do it? Why do we chase that short-term pleasure, even when we know it's going to lead to long-term suffering? Reaching for that extra slice of cake, or scrolling endlessly on our phones when we should be sleeping. It's this universal struggle we face in a million little ways every single day.
Okay, so to help us figure this all out, the Sutra lays out a really clear 5-part framework. First up, we've got the pleasure paradox. Then we'll look at the 4 paths of action. After that, we'll get into these amazing metaphors: sweet poison, bitter medicine. Then we'll see how the power of wisdom is the key to it all. And finally, we'll talk about how to actually apply this and choose your path.
All right, first up, the pleasure paradox. The whole idea here is built around a conflict that, let's be real, every single one of us knows intimately. It's that constant tug-of-war between what feels good right now and what's actually good for us in the long run.
So, how do we deal with this paradox? Well, the text gives us this simple but really powerful system. It says, hey, stop judging your actions by how they feel in the moment. Instead, we need to categorize them based on where they're actually going to lead us down the road.
And check this out. Here's how it works. It's basically this simple grid, right? Any action can feel good or bad in the present, and it can lead to either happiness or suffering in the future. So when you map that out, boom, you get these 4 really clear paths.
Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. To make these 4 paths super easy to remember, the Sutra uses these incredible metaphors. They're so vivid, they just stick in your head. So let's start with the first one, the one we probably know a little too well. This is the path of immediate pleasure, but future suffering. It feels awesome in the moment, but eventually, it leads to some kind of pain or regret. And the text calls this sweet poison. How perfect is that? It's like a delicious drink that looks and smells amazing, but hidden inside, it's mixed with poison. That initial pleasure is just hiding something really destructive. So what are we talking about here? What kind of actions fall into this category? Well, the Sutra points to things like killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, even just holding on to views that are fundamentally wrong. Basically, anything that brings some kind of pleasure or joy but is ultimately unwholesome. Okay, now for the complete opposite. Path number 2, suffering now but pleasure later. This is the tough one, right? The one that requires discipline and feels hard in the moment, but it's the one that leads to genuine, lasting happiness down the line. And the metaphor for this one, bitter medicine. Now, the text gets pretty graphic here, describing it as this foul-tasting concoction. But it gets the point across perfectly, right? It's the thing you absolutely do not want to take, but it's the very thing that's going to cure you. Think about it. Studying for an exam, hitting the gym when you're tired, that's bitter medicine. All right, then we have the third path, which is honestly just a worst-case scenario. It's suffering now and suffering later. Just a total lose-lose situation. These are actions that are painful to even do, and they just lead to more pain in the future. The Sutra calls this one bitter poison. I mean, it says it all. There's absolutely no redeeming quality here. It's awful in the moment, and it's destructive later.
And finally, path number 4. This is the goal, the ideal path. It's pleasure now and pleasure later. This is where our actions are genuinely enjoyable and fulfilling right now, and they're also planting the seeds for our future well-being. And yeah, you guessed it, the text calls this sweet medicine. It's like this delicious mix of ghee and honey and herbs that tastes great and cures your illness. This is the ultimate win-win, where what feels good is also what is good. A treat and a cure, all in one.
Okay, so this begs the question, right? What's the difference maker? What separates someone who can choose that bitter medicine from someone who keeps falling for the sweet poison? The Sutra gives us a really clear one-word answer for that: wisdom. But it's super important to get what wisdom means in this context. It's not about being a genius or having a high IQ. It's about knowing things as they truly are. It's about having the clarity to see the real long-term consequences of our actions, way beyond just how they feel in this exact moment. And you can really see the contrast here. The unwise person, they're completely fooled by the surface level. They taste that sweetness and they totally miss the poison hidden inside. But the wise person, they see the whole picture. They know that path for what it truly is, poison, and they abandon it. and they see the other path for what it truly is, medicine, and they embrace it, even if it's better.
Okay, so this all sounds great, but how does this actually play out in our lives? I mean, how do we get this wisdom and turn it into real, concrete action? Let's talk about choosing your path.
Well, the result is actually pretty simple. When you have that clarity, that wisdom, unwholesome qualities just naturally start to decrease, and wholesome ones increase. It's less about a brutal battle of willpower and more about the right choice just becoming obvious.
So the wise person's strategy can really be broken down into 4 pretty straightforward steps. Step 1, know the paths to avoid. Know your poisons. Step 2, know the paths to follow. Know your medicines. Step 3 is to actively let go of what's unwholesome. And step 4 is to cultivate what is wholesome. Simple as that. I mean, when you lay it out like this, the choice becomes crystal clear, doesn't it? Our job is to abandon any path that has poison in it, whether it's sweet or bitter. And on the flip side, we embrace the paths that are medicine, both the bitter and the sweet.
And really, that's the core takeaway here. This ancient text is telling us that our choices are our medicine. Every single thing we do, every decision we make is like a medicine we're choosing to consume. And it's either going to heal us or it's going to harm us.
So that leaves us with a really powerful question to carry with us. As you go about your day-to-day and all the little choices you have to make, just ask yourself, which medicine are you choosing right now?